Righty-ho. So this little video here is going to be about a previous job I had. What I was doing is I was a catalyst handling technician. Um, so it's basically in like large refineries and production plants. Um, Basically what I've been doing is going into those big towers you might see if you've ever driven past one. And cleaning them out, removing toxic waste and catalyst, and replacing it with new catalyst. So it's kind of hard to explain exactly what we did, but with this little model I made, hopefully I can kind of at least give you a good sort of picture of what was going on. Rightio. So this is basically a very not to scale small version of a tower. Like a lot of the times they were quite a lot bigger than this. Even the smallest I've worked on I don't think would quite be this small, but yeah, they got pretty large, but they were all kinds of different shapes and sizes. But yeah, but the basics of it is, so this catalyst here, up here there would be a tube coming in, one at the bottom that would come out, and it would just flow through. The product would go through the catalyst, and it would do its job of changing it to whatever it needed to be, or cleaning it, or whatever it is the catalyst was doing. Different catalysts did different things. For example, there was one that I always found interesting to work on was desulf units that took out the sulfur from the product. And why I like those, because they were always pretty fiery. But yeah, plenty of stories. So anyway, a lot of this catalyst is pyrophoric. Which means that basically when it's introduced to oxygen, it would spontaneously combust, or could potentially spontaneously combust. So it's fairly dangerous to be handling in normal conditions. So what we would do is, to get rid of it, we would fill this whole vessel with nitrogen, which is an inert gas. And of course is also an asphyxiant, so we breathe. And funnily enough, it makes up over 70% of the oxygen we breathe, but at 100% concentrations, it will basically, it'll trigger a reaction which basically causes you to asphyxiate. Your body will stop breathing. I'm not going to pretend I'm an expert in all that kind of stuff, but it's worth looking into. It's quite interesting how it works. So obviously, when this environment is completely inert, nitrogen filled, we had to go in with full BA Systems breathing apparatus. So what we have here on this little guy is, you'll see he's got a umbilical cord which goes up to the top here, which feeds into this little like regulator. Sometimes we'd be working from oxygen bottles in a bottle bank. Other times it'd be off the plant's oxygen itself. And what this other thing here is a vacuum tube. So basically next to this, over here down outside, this vacuum would come all the way up. It would come down into the ground, and it'd be hooked up to a vacuum system that had hoppers and all kinds of things to drop the catalyst out into bags, all again under inert environments as much as possible, to try and keep this catalyst from spontaneously combusting. So yeah, this was one of those jobs that got stupid dangerous at times, as you can imagine. So I've got, for this, it's a confined space entry, he's got just a wire. In reality, we were using the pulleys with 3 ropes. So you've got 3 ropes, you've got a rope ladder here, you've got an umbilical cord, you've got the hose that you're using to suck out the catalyst, and of course you'll have some form of, oh my god, the batteries are flat, some form of lighting here That light works, but the batteries are flat. That's cool. So yeah, you're constantly moving around in here, and you're slowly sucking this down, 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 down. This, of course, is an empty vessel. This would normally be full, pretty much, not to the top, but very close, with catalyst. So suck it all the way down, and you have like little inert balls down here. And yeah, so you're spinning around and around. You try not to get tangled up, because if anything happens to this oxygen system, basically you've only got a couple of seconds to get out. We also have which I haven't put on, a reserve tank, which I can't remember exactly how long it would give you, but it was in the minutes. It wasn't very long. And of course, the more you breathe, the more you carry on, the quicker it will deplete. So yeah, you had to really be very aware of your surroundings, always looking up to make sure nothing's tangled. Yeah, because all you've got is that rope ladder to escape. People can winch you up, but again, that's you don't really want to be in that position. It's best to be able to get out by yourself. And also, we'd always have a standby guy up here in a suit, ready to go, BA mask and all, just in case something happened to you. He could come and pull you out. Plenty of safety protocols and all that kind of thing. So yeah, no, it's a very, very dangerous job. Again, like even with the nitrogen, this could heats up quite often. The catalyst can heat up. Just a little bit of oxygen getting in there. It's very hard to contain in some vessels to really like plug the leaks. And then of course you're working up here, handing down tools. There's a few other guys that don't have masks and that on. You're working around nitrogen that's blowing out of this. We're trying to keep it contained, obviously, as much as possible, but there's always the risk of getting a little bit of asphyxiation. And even then, the ground crew that is handling the catalyst once it comes out, they're trying to keep this from combusting at the same time as they're trying to put it into bags or barrels, depending on what the requirements are. Yeah, it's a very interesting job. There was also a lot of these vessels would have different levels with like kind of mesh floors that we'd have to pull apart and all that kind of thing, and you're wearing, again, big Tyvek, fireproof overalls, this mask and big gloves and all kinds of things, trying to undo little bolts that are, being heated up and seized and all kinds of stuff. It was a really interesting job. I enjoyed a lot of it. It did become very factory-like once you'd done it a few times, especially the ground crew. It was the same sort of thing over and over and over again. But travelled a lot with this. Travelled a good part of the world. Just because it's such a niche job, it was, yeah, they'd ship you in from overseas to come do it. Again, very dangerous. You really want qualified technicians to be doing this. There is a very high chance of, well, not with this right safety protocols, but there is always the chance of fatalities and major injuries because of the dangerous nature. But thankfully for my time there, I didn't see anything too major. I did see some things, don't get me wrong, but no one got too badly hurt. I did a couple of times, but that's just me in general. But yeah, no, it was a very interesting job. Yeah, it's just and especially one of those jobs that you'd never even know would exist. And even now, like looking at this video, you're probably still trying to figure out exactly what's going on. But yeah, have a look. There's not huge amounts of information about it, but yeah, catalyst handling technician. Very interesting, unique job. Yeah, hope all the boys are all doing alright. Haven't seen a lot of yous in a while. Yeah, keep safe and keep on keeping on. Just for fun, I've changed the battery. What a neat little spot to put the battery. Turn the light on. Ooh-hoo! Look at that. Someone spent way too much time on the shit.